some rocking shoes.
Johnny, are we represented appropriately? Appropriately in our democratically elected parliaments?
No!
Well, are we? Oh, Johnny, they don't represent us at all. What we've ended up with is a whole lot of bloody elite wealthy people who make decisions that don't impact on them in any way. Hardly. Do you think they suffer, Johnny, or can't pay their power bill, electricity, or can't pay their rego this week because they've got too many bills? No!
Here's a question for you. Do we live in an elite dictatorship? Well, that's what...
Right here with the Willies. So in actual fact, Johnny, they're not put under any hardship at all by any decision they make. You try and find me one. Go on.
And I'm inclined to agree with that. The majority view now on loads of things, we could add trans issues in there, for example, what kids should be taught at schools. The majority view does not appear to be what's being upheld by the people who we put in charge. And all too often as well, they'll stand on a manifesto of something, then something else will come up and they'll go, sorry, we couldn't do that, we were going to have to do this instead. And here we are, years down the line, with an unelected Prime Minister doing things that nobody really wants, and a leader of the opposition doing things that I'm convinced he wishes he didn't have to do, unless some very loud woke people behind him were making him do them.
But Johnny, these blokes are in England. Surely it doesn't apply to us over here. And though he's talking about England, it could be any country you can name, like bloody Australia, Canada, the US, France. You're saying we don't get any true... You're...
Was the founder of the Free Speech Union. Toby, thank you very much. Do we live in some kind of dictatorship, do you think?
He's right. Across a number of issues, whether it's the small boat crisis, whether it's debanking, you name it, climate change, net zero, across a whole range of issues, the liberal metropolitan elite charged with governing us are completely at odds with the majority of the British people.
Yeah, what about migration? They make rules about migration all the time, but they live in their bloody wealthy areas, probably a gated community, and don't give a fuck about it. But otherwise they wouldn't make those bloody decisions. I mean, we've got to get politicians in there that can bloody relate to the lives that the people who are voting... Right.
Minority elections are supposed to be the great way in which the majority can protect themselves of having unpopular views imposed upon them by a liberal metropolitan elite. But the problem is that on so many of these issues, particularly climate change, but also migration, the parties all seem to have the same policy. It's a uniparty. So who do we turn to if we want to protect ourselves from this elite? It's not clear.
No.
Well, back in the day, Johnny, you used to get a village would pick some representative, not necessarily the wealthiest bloody villager, but someone who could speak up for them, and he'd be sent off monthly to Parliament to express the bloody village's bloody wants and needs. And stand up for them. We don't get that anymore. We just elect some wealthy prick we've never fucking heard of. Johnny, what's the answer then? What the fucking hell are we going to do? How are we going to get out of this mess?
Now, I've got a theory on this, which is that when you have a load of money in the bank and everything is rosy in the garden and nothing really can affect you that easily, you can afford to have luxury views sometimes, because you live in the ideal world that, frankly, most of us don't. But we are most of us. The public is most of us. The electorate is most of us. And so what matters to the electorate does not match up with the elite views of people. Unfortunately, those people are the ones who tend to rule over us.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Spot on.
Well, that's true, I must admit.
I got the roadmap of the country. I got a buddy who'll share the gains.